Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Sekai Podcast. I'm your host, Mikan.
And I am your host, Ichigo. What's up, guys?
Hey guys. So join us this week as we discuss anime revamps. Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
So this week, we're going to be talking about anime revamps and some animes that have been revamped already and some that we would like to see revamped.
Yes. It's slowly coming along. I promise you, if not every other year, it's like every year I see another anime discussion of a show that is coming back either completely revamped or partially revamped,
Mhm.
and I'm actually here for it. I want to see some of these shows with like better animation,
Yeah.
and as long as they stick to the storyline, like I don't want the storyline to change
Mhm.
completely,
Yeah.
if at all. But I'm here for a revamp.
No, I agree. I feel like especially 90s and early 2000s anime was so pinnacle that it's hard to remake stories that were that good.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's why even TV shows, though, I've noticed, I, I don't know if people are coming out of like not having any new ideas, but they're just like, you know what? Let's go back to the good and trusty old stuff. Why don't we remake it? Especially if it's been 20 years, if it's already been 20 years, I'm like, listen, the animation has gotten better. I would
Mm-hmm.
totally watch it again. Particularly if a story like maybe didn't follow the manga. And this time around, the manga's probably already finished, so they can actually do it justice.
Oh yeah, that was Sailor Moon Crystal. When Sailor Moon Crystal, or I should say Sailor Moon, got a revamp, Sailor Moon Crystal actually follows the original manga storyline, whereas
Yeah.
Sailor Moon back in the 90s, like there's a lot of episodes
Yeah.
that were not original to the manga storyline at all. And I think that's where I believe the anime caught up to the manga story, and where the anime had to keep producing episodes, it kind of veered off from the original storyline and then got back
Mm.
on once the manga had gone past, and then kind of did like a loop de loop kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Sailor Moon definitely was one of the anime that when it was revamped, it followed the original manga storyline, and I
Yeah.
loved it. I was here for it. And not just because I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan, but animation quality was also really
Yes,
good.
that's especially nowadays. I feel like that's the reason why they bring back certain things. And I mean, one of people's favorites, like anime fans all over, like Brotherhood was probably by far, is still by far considered one of the greatest animes of all time. And that was
Hmm.
definitely a revamp, and they followed the actual manga this time. It was just so good.
Which to me, I felt like the time between Full Metal Alchemist, I'll call it the original story, the original anime story, to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, there wasn't that much time in between for a revamp compared to, let's say, Sailor Moon or even Rurouni Kenshin, or what's out now, which is Ranma One Half. Like Ranma One Half, that came out in the 80s, and it's just now 2024 getting a revamp. So it's definitely been over even 30 years, I
Yeah.
believe, since that anime has come out. I feel like Full Metal Alchemist original anime and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, there wasn't that much. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact it wasn't 20 years. It was at least maybe 7 to 10, I think,
Oh yeah, yeah, because I believe
years.
the manga ended in 2010 and they actually
Mhm.
started Brotherhood in 2009. So a little bit before the manga was going to finish,
Mhm.
and I believe the original came out
I want to
only
say the original came out in either,
2004. It
yeah,
came out
2004.
2004.
So it was like 3, no, it was, you said 2009 for Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't even 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's also another reason why I'm not super huge into Brotherhood is because I felt like the time frame in between the two anime shows wasn't that long. Because I remember distinctly thinking, well, they just finished Full Metal Alchemist. Why
So
are they redoing it?
So what happened actually with Full Metal is they started to veer off very quickly in the story, pretty
Mm-hmm.
early on. The arc started to veer off, and fans were not very happy with that because it was a beloved manga. So
Mm,
basically, almost right before it was finishing, they decided to like do it while it was still popular. Um, and just throw it out there, and it became like insanely popular, obviously, because it was so good. Like people were like, why
right.
would you veer off? But granted, the manga wasn't done yet at the time, or not really close to done yet,
Mm-hmm.
because it would still go on until 2010. So they kind of, I would say, they just jumped on the wagon too fast, and
Right.
so a lot of people were not happy with that.
That makes sense, but I feel like back during that time, that was kind of the thing. Like a lot of the anime that came out that was following a manga storyline, it caught up, especially if it was super popular. The anime caught up with the manga, and so then it kind of veered off and had to be its own storyline, which I
So
get. And then now that they're revamping it for it to follow the original manga storyline, that makes more sense to at least wait.
yeah. So Full Metal kind of went a different route than all the other ones that haven't finished, like Naruto and Bleach. Naruto and Bleach, they had fillers, complete like long fillers. Full
Mm,
Metal, I guess the production team they just decided to go with whatever story they wanted to go with. Which
yeah.
I also some anime do go that route, but
Hmm.
the like I would say like the bigger shonen types typically like they went with the filler, like especially if they were long running.
Right.
And One Piece, they just slowed the episodes down. Like, oh my god. They just prolonged each episode as long as they could because when they got up, they were like, "Oh snap." Even now, they're still like, "Let's slow it down."
Well, I think
So
they're
yeah.
officially putting on a One Piece is being put on a pause, I believe. Like the story is stopping. But that also leads me to isn't like I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they are revamping some of the beginner episodes or seasons of One Piece right now. Like they're in production.
Yeah. So the hiatus I think began like, oh my god, there's so many episodes. I don't know. I can't until next, I think middle 2025, like a hiatus because they were. But yeah, from what I've heard, they're gonna actually fully remake it from the beginning. But they're going to make it. I'm gonna assume much better animation, but also just full on kind of follow the manga because I hope they do at least because now they have the opportunity to do so, like truly like follow the manga without having to worry that they'll catch up because there's so many,
Right.
so many chapters.
But that leads me cuz I'm like the manga's not done. So shouldn't they just wait? I mean, but I guess with One Piece
They're
they
gonna wait until the end of time.
they're going to be waiting a while. So
They're
that
gonna,
makes sense. Okay, One Piece
One Piece is just an
kind of makes
exception to
sense.
the rule.
Yeah, One Piece makes an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
But if a manga gets super popular and it then moves into an anime production and the manga's not finished,
Hmm.
wouldn't it be easier if they just wait for the manga to finish?
You
But
mean
then,
before they start making it, like they just don't make it?
yeah, right. Like they
So
just don't make it.
see,
And then
the
that way
thing
it never
though,
catches up. But then that it also depends
no.
on when the manga's going to finish. Like
See, the
with,
thing though is everyone, if it is a popular story, all the production, like all the manga studios, they want it, you know?
right.
So it's kind of like a who's going to get it first in a sense. But although I do think a lot of animation studios in Japan, they're not like competitive per se, like I would say in the States. Like it's they're a little bit more like, okay, you get this one. Like they seem to have a good relationship. I don't know if that makes sense,
Yeah.
um, but the thing is, like with anything popular, you people want to need to jump like on the bandwagon, especially if you want to
Right.
make money, you know? So I think
Right.
they have that mentality a lot of times, but now it's a little different from before because although back then we did have seasons, we had so many continuously running stories. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now we have
Mhm.
seasons. Now we have things like people just drop a whole season and then you wait a whole year for the next season. So now they
Or
have a little bit
two.
more like yeah, more like leeway to just produce like the first few chapters and whatnot and then, you know, wait for it. Which I feel like wasn't the case before. So now I'm like, now is your time. Now you can really remake the stuff. Granted, most of them are
Mhm.
probably finished already at this point, but
Well, and that's the other thing that's it's like, okay, so if it's getting a revamp, at least we get to see the full story
Mhm.
revamped. And if it's from a manga or an anime that's been revamped from like over 20 years ago or even 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So for
Yeah.
example, like Urusei Yatsura, which got a revamp that you can see on High Dive. Um, Tokyo Mew Mew.
Tokyo Mew Mew got a revamp.
Tokyo Mew Mew got a revamp.
Wow.
Because I remember the original anime. I can't remember what year it came out. But Tokyo Mew Mew got a revamp, and that revamp came out last year, if not 2 years ago, and that has two seasons. I don't know why Tokyo Mew Mew got a revamp because in my head, yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. In my head, I feel like revamps you see for like popular, very very popular shows,
Yeah.
and
I mean, it doesn't necessarily. I mean, well, Fruits Basket was pretty popular. I'm glad
Fruits
they.
Basket was popular. Cardcaptor Sakura was popular. Sailor Moon was popular. Rurouni Kenshin was popular. Ranma
Hunter.
One
Well, Hunter
Half was
Hunter was
popular. Popular.
Hunter was another one they kind of redid like very quickly.
Yeah,
Well, it was like a 10-year gap I think between.
I
But
it
for
was a 10 year
Dororo,
gap, but even still, it was popular.
yeah.
Now I don't know about the popularity for Japan, but I at least know for the popularity here in the States, it wasn't that big compared to some of these other titles.
Hmm.
Now it got big enough to where it got a dub. The original got a dub, and it was called Mew Mew Power.
Too good.
I am a Tokyo Mew Mew fan, but
Yeah.
it's not as big in the anime community to me for it
Yeah.
to get a revamp. And so when it did get a revamp, I was shocked. I was like, dang, we still ain't got a season two to Akatsuki no Yona, and they revamping Tokyo Mew Mew. Like,
uh,
you see what I mean? Like,
yes, I do. I do.
they should
Like
have
it's kind of like
revamped
why?
Inuyasha before Tokyo Mew Mew. Like, what
Yeah.
are y'all doing?
Oh my god, why Tokyo Mew Mew? Yeah.
Exactly. You see what I mean? And
Somebody
mind you,
was fighting for that for years and finally got their wish.
well, whoever that person is, I'm gonna need you to fight for Akatsuki no Yona season two, or at least Akatsuki no Yona, like a
Please.
revamp with
Yes,
a continuation story. Like,
I agree.
please, because that's
Honestly,
what
I'm
we got with
surprised.
Fruits Basket.
Yeah, because I feel like recently too, there have been stories that have continued. Like I don't know, Exorcist. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, I did not see that. That came out of nowhere for me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what? Um,
Same.
Bleach, like I kind of saw that. I thought once it ended, like there was somebody was gonna do it because it was so popular. Somebody had to continue and finish it, and I'm so glad they did because it looks absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I kind of want the rest of the story to be redone because it's so pretty, but I like the original, so I just skip the fillers, y'all, because it's not worth it. But the main story is pretty good. But I feel like there's some, as long as they were very loyal to the original story, they could just continue. You know, like just
Mm-hmm.
give us the finish. Like if they're already done, like just give it to us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, there's even anime that was done in the 80s, which this leads me. Okay,
Hmm.
so I have a theory. And the theory is the mangaka who created Inuyasha, I believe
Hmm.
her name is Rumiko Takahashi. She also created Urusei Yatsura and Ranma, one half, right? I'm wondering if Inuyasha is going to get a revamp soon. And the reason
Oh,
I say
because
this is
bigger
because
audience.
Urusei Yatsura got a revamp.
Yeah.
And then now Rama One Half has gotten a revamp. So that makes me wonder. I mean, it's been 20 years since Inuyasha has come out.
Yeah.
And I'm not counting Inuyasha the final act. And the reason I can't count it is because that was a continuation of the story to end the
Yeah.
story.
So that's the thing though. I'm wondering, would they revamp? Because I feel like typically they do like a final act, like in the case like Inuyasha, Bleach, like All Exorcist, they kind of continue the story that was already done. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if they would, for stories like that, they would actually go back, particularly if it's followed this original story manga, which most of
Mm,
those animes have already done so. So I don't know if they would go back and redo it simply for the fact to make it look nicer. Like, I don't know. I feel like
right.
that's not a very common thing. Like, they either usually go the route of like they brotherhood something, you know what I mean? Like, they just
Mm-hmm.
remake it to like follow the actual story, or they finish it.
But I would actually love to see an Inuyasha revamp.
That would be pretty interesting. It would be weird
Like,
though to hear them with different voices.
well, here's the thing: not all revamps have different characters. Like, I feel like side characters may have a different voice actor or voice actress, but with a lot, like they reprise their role. Like, Skino Sagi's voice actress, she reprised her role. Rama's voice actor, who's also the voice of Inuyasha, he reprised his role. So a lot of them are reprising their roles if they're that popular.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't know.
But yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if they would redo like a classic that was already loyal to like this original storyline. I feel like that wouldn't be as common.
But I feel like Rama One Half was pretty close to the manga storyline. It got a revamp.
Yeah, but they didn't like finish it off. You know what I mean? Like a few years back, they didn't finish it off. I
Ah,
feel
that's
like they
true.
just restarted it and
Yeah. And then
but
we'll
they act
probably
some
finish it off.
yeah, but like a production company actually took the time and finished off Inuyasha. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
Like I
it's
don't know, like I'm thinking
interesting.
in terms like same thing with Bleach, like now they're putting out seasons to finish off the story. I don't know if they would actually go back, like take the time to go back and redo the entire storyline.
I
Like that's a
mean,
lot.
yeah, that and it's
Inuyasha's
gonna
long
cost a
too.
lot. But I
Mhm.
wonder if that's why, because I know I heard rumors that they were doing a few episodes of a revamp of Naruto with Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. And I
Oh
saw that
yeah.
they had dropped the like what it's gonna look like and everything, but and it was supposed to come out this fall as like a promotion. I haven't seen or heard anything. So it makes me wonder like, did they just scrap the whole idea or did they
No, it was not. I know what you're talking about. Everyone thought it was a remake, but it was like just like a special. It was, I think, like a few episodes special to celebrate like their anniversary. I think it was like the
mm,
20th anniversary.
mm-hmm.
But it wasn't an actual remake. It was like a special.
So then my next question is, should the big three get a revamp
I mean,
within so
one
many
of them is
years?
already getting a
I
revamp,
look,
and
One
they're not even
Piece
done.
One Piece ain't done yet, okay? That's a special case.
Yeah.
But like, should Naruto be revamped? And should Bleach be
Uh,
like, I understand Bleach is like still kind of Bleach might also be a special case kind of like One Piece, but should
yeah.
they start over from the beginning? Because all three shows at one point in time had filler episodes that weren't a part of the original manga storyline.
So, as a person who loves the big three, I will say that for Bleach, no, I don't think. I think they should just finish it off as they are
Mm.
because the classics, I do think, still hold up relatively well. The thing is, even Naruto, I'm like, I feel it's too soon because what they had Boruto. Like, is Boruto over? I feel like it's still running. It's still going.
We not counting
Um,
Boruto as a revamp.
I know it's not, but like the story, like the well, technically, like the continuation story is technically still going. I feel like it's not ready for a revamp yet. Maybe in another like 20 years. That's the thing. I feel like another 20 to 30 years, I will accept a revamp of the big three. I think it's still
Okay.
too soon. I feel like
I
it's
mean, One Piece
still
will
really
probably
twisted.
still be going
It's
if
still
that's the
going. It's
case.
still going. That story will never end. It's just gonna keep going.
It's just gonna keep going.
All
But
the
it would
re
make
all the
sense because the
revamps.
first couple of seasons, like seasons one, two, three, four, would all be getting revamped.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
it'd
all the
just be,
revamps in the entirety of Naruto could be revamped, and I feel like One Piece would the story would still be continuing.
yeah,
It would still be going.
yeah, 100%. In which case, so that now leads me to my next question: what constitutes an anime getting a revamp in your mind? Is it
And
popularity? And if it is popularity, is it based off of a particular time period or like time frame? If these particular anime were big and running in the 90s, do they get a revamp? Does it have to be an anniversary, or could it be one of those situations where the manga storyline was completely different than its anime original, and
Mhm.
so they're revamping it just to put the original manga storyline out there? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so for me, I would say what constitutes a revamp is definitely a very popular story that they kind of strayed off the original
Mm,
storyline. Those are the only ones I care personally to have a revamp, because I feel like most anime would not get a revamp unless they're very popular for one. And the only ones that I could think of that people would actually be willing to watch would be that type of situation
mm-hmm.
where they absolutely love the story because they love the manga for the most part and the original story. And so they just want it redone correctly. That's just for me. What about for you?
I would agree with that, but I feel like this is where it kind of hits like somewhat of a small wall for me, because as we get older, when these revamps come out, it's only the older generations that get super excited about these particular shows. So I don't know. I think it's great if it gets a revamp past so many years for like an anniversary type thing, or it's going back and covering the original manga storyline, or it was super popular, so now we have updated technology, so let's update it with the new technology. But I am concerned about the newer generation not being able to appreciate the original anime work.
Mm. So I'm actually okay with that because I feel like for me, I value like a lot of the original story because to me that will always be well that's the original, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
as long as they do that justice, I feel more comfortable, like feel okay that the newer generations can actually appreciate an old story that was created and enjoy it in the way that it was made by the original artist in a
Mm.
sense. And that's why I'm like, that's fine with me because I'll probably watch it too if it was a remake, and then they can
Yeah.
watch it and I can enjoy it together. I can enjoy an oldie, but technically a new thing with them. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if that's the case, what anime are you digging out the past that needs a revamp?
Oh my god. Okay, there's a few. There's a few. The first one that immediately like popped into my head. This one I have been hoping for and dreaming for, and I know a lot of people as well from the night. Like, I know you guys have been dreaming about this, especially if you like shoujo. Oran High School Host Club.
Yes.
Please remake that. Please, please, before I die, please.
Yes. Well, not only that, it also needs a finish. It kind of
Well,
just
they kind of
ended.
veered off in the end at the
Yeah.
anime, so they need to revamp it. I think they need to redo it because they kind of strayed off the story.
Mm.
So yes, please, please, please do a fruits basket on that. Do a brotherhood on that, please. I need Oran High School Host Club Brotherhood here. Like, I need it. There's a lot of stories I need a brotherhood on because
Yeah.
they just did not like. Have you seen Dead Man Wonderland? I feel like that's not up your alley.
Yes.
They did that story so wrong. I was so upset. They just did it so wrong. And I was like, no. Another one they need to like fully finish, like go on. And Noragami. I know you like this one too.
I love Noragami.
Noragami,
Ah.
please. It's such a good story. Honestly, I wouldn't mind them remaking it because I love that story so much. I would I wouldn't mind rewatching, even if it's almost identical. I wouldn't mind.
I think as long as they keep the original like voice acting
I do
cast,
like
then
the
yeah,
original voice. Yes. Another
yes.
one, I feel like Promise Neverland needs to just be a little bit redone and then just continue. It kind of flopped off at the end there. I don't know
It flopped
why,
off
what
with
they did.
season two. Season two was a huge
Yeah.
flop.
They kind of did it dirty a bit. So I feel like they need to do a little bit of a better job at that. And also, I can I get a Brotherhood of Soul Eater? Please. Please. Soul Eater Brotherhood. That's what I need. And oh, girl, this one, I was so I love this manga. This was one of the few stories I actually read the manga because I was so interested in the story. And then they finally came out with an anime. But girl, it was like CG, like it was like CGI anime, like the whole story through. It was not like 2D. It was the ugly CGI. You know what I'm talking about? When
Trigun?
no, Ajing. I don't know if you know that one. Ajing.
Ajin?
It was to me it looks so bad. I tried to watch it many times. It just no. I needed that in like a true anime form. It would have been a glorious, beautiful story and they messed it up. And I'm still salty about that. I think I'll die salty about that because oh my god, I really was interested in that anime and I was like, how could you betray me like this? Japan, how could you do this to me? Oh, but I hope they do remake that. That's my list, and I'm very salty about a few of them. Like I'm really a few of them made me lose hope in like humanity. I'm not gonna lie. Oh no, one that you've seen too, Tokyo Ghoul. I need them to remake that.
I have to finish Tokyo Ghoul, but yes.
They kind of actually flipped around a few storylines and like changed the timing of some arcs, which I thought was very weird. But honestly, they should just follow the manga. Like it's there now, it's done. Like just follow the manga, y'all. Please.
I don't know.
Please. I just hope they have the good music and like honestly the music was so good in Tokyo Ghoul. They just need to keep that vibe. But just maybe follow the story, like the original, a little bit closely. Cause it got a little bit weird and confusing in the anime. Like if you didn't read the manga, there was some parts where it's like, huh? But yeah, that's my list. That's my list. How about you?
Um, well, one was already done. Sailor
Huh?
Moon was already
Oh,
done.
Sailor Moon,
Sailor Moon,
yeah.
yeah, Sailor Moon was already
That was your
done.
greatest hope, right?
I didn't even hope for that one because it, when they announced that they were bringing it back, I was already like, oh my god, yes. But Akatsuki no Yona, I feel like I would want a revamp Brotherhood, like finish it out, Fruits Basket style it out.
Hmm.
Don't just leave us hanging. At this point, I don't even need a season two. I need a full revamp of Akatsuki no Yona. Some others that I would like to see revamped would probably be Tenchi Muyo.
Shimiyo, okay.
And that's like the only mecha spacey type anime that I will actually watch. But I feel like Tenchi Muyo needs a revamp. Just better
Mm.
animation, better fight scenes, everything. Just it needs a revamp. What else? Inuyasha, obviously. Yes, Inuyasha. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh yes, that's another good one. I feel like it's been a while. I could see that looking really cool in new animation style.
They gave us a live action, so why not just go ahead and
I
give us an
know,
anime
right?
too?
Well, maybe they might pull a One Piece. After the live action got popular, they make a remake, even though it's not finished.
I mean, I think Netflix has even confirmed a season two.
Yeah,
Don't quote
of the
me on
live
that.
action.
Yeah,
Yes,
of the live
there
action of
already
Yu Yu
is.
Hakusho. So I feel like now more than ever would be the best time to start working on a revamp of Yu Yu Hakusho. Give us, better fight scenes. Matter of fact, Mappa could pick it up.
I think it might be too long for Mappa. They're already drowning. They're already drowning. They've been drowning for years, and they still keep throwing
Well,
out
Mappa
bangers.
Mappa has Rama one half, so why not? Just if you gonna go down the revamp game, go ahead pick up Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mhm.
Because think about it, once Jujutsu Kaisen finishes, then they're gonna need another box hit anime to keep it.
It's
Keep it
true.
pushing, keep it moving.
I mean, they still got a lot to go for Jujutsu Kaisen. There's still a few more seasons.
Oh no. My heart can't take no more.
Oh, girl, it's about to be a bumpy ride.
No.
If you thought it was bad before, just wait, just wait, just wait.
My heart can't take no more.
It's gonna be a really intense roller coaster ride.
I ain't ready.
You will be. I promise you. You will be. At that By that time, you will be.
I ain't ready. I ain't ready. But I feel like, a lot of popular shows back in the 90s should get a revamp. A lot of them already have, and or like a continuation type story, but definitely Ouran High School Host Club,
Oh my
Akatsuki no
god, please.
Yona, Yu Hakusho would be my top.
The thing is, I don't think the actual manga for Akatsuki no Yona is finished yet. So I don't know if they can actually finish it
But
yet.
that's why I said if they do a revamp of it, because it's been
Y-
years since that anime came out. If they start
Yeah,
off now with a whole brand new, like from scratch, like from the start, I'm pretty sure by the time the manga finishes, they'll catch up. The anime will catch up. The revamp one.
hopefully. Yeah, I feel like that would work. But honestly, I would say Oran High School Host Club
Yeah.
is absolutely, for me personally, like my top. Please revamp it. It has been too long. I need the rest of the story. Plus,
I'm actually down for that pick. I'm down for it.
I feel like the entire anime community would be, even if they weren't really into that story per se, like they would just be down, because it's that good.
It was a good story.
And the manga is more interesting too because it goes into like the different relationships, and it's like, yes, please. I'm still hoping and praying one day
Who
it will
knows?
happen. We're gonna manifest
Yes.
it. It will
It'll
happen.
happen. Just like we're definitely gonna get a season 2 of Akatsuki no Yona.
Yes. I'm gonna bank that it's gonna be after it finishes. I'm not gonna lie. So that might take a little bit longer.
No,
But
I think they should just go ahead and start now. It'll catch up eventually.
uh but you guys let us know what anime revamp was your favorite. Which one did you not like? Also, what is your top pick for anime revamp? Are you guys also into the idea of Orang High School Host Club? Because let's be real, we all need that. I think the world, the universe just needs that anime to brighten our life. And as always, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Anime Sekai Podcast. And we will be here next week as well. See you again later, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys. See you next week.